Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Standing at the head of Forrester Creations, Steffi Forrester Finnegan's keen eyes scan the newest designs arranged across the elegant conference table in the busy world of Los Angeles fashion and complicated family ties. Steffi had always taken great satisfaction in upholding order in a business that flourished on passion, rivalry, and sporadic chaos as co-CEO with her father Rich. However, it looked like the drama was approaching from all sides these days. Little did she know that the coming weeks would pull her into 4 intense new storylines, each one testing her resolve as a leader, a daughter, a wife, and a protector of her family. The tension that was building in the jewelry section was the beginning of it all. With the intention of reviving the line with her young relative Electra, Ivy Forrester had returned to Forrester Creations. Things looked promising at first. Ivy's experience added refinement, and Electra contributed new vitality and skill. Steffi had been hesitant to bring Ivy back because of the history and lingering grudges from previous betrayals and manipulations. However, Ridge had overruled her, arguing that commercial acumen and family ties should take precedence. Steffi had complied, telling herself to keep her personal emotions and work-related decisions apart. The most intimate test to that idea was about to occur. When Electra barged into Steffi's office one day, her face flushed with betrayal and tears on the verge of spilling, the revelation came as a shock. She had learned the truth. Ivy had been hatching a covert scheme to ruin her relationship with Will Spencer. In order to cause a gap between the young couple, Ivy had interfered behind the scenes, sowing the seeds of jealousy, creating awkward encounters, and spreading subtle concerns. It was deliberate meddling that had caused actual suffering, not merely innocuous matchmaking gone wrong. Given that the plotting had taken place inside Forrester Creations, a place where professionalism was supposed to rule, Electra felt ashamed and incensed. "I can't work with her anymore," Electra said in a stern but trembling voice. Steffi listened carefully, her thoughts racing. "It's her or me, Steffi. If Ivy stays, I'm walking out that door. I won't design another piece while she's here undermining everything." She had always valued loyalty and integrity in her team. Because of Dylan's prior involvement, Ivy and Electra had objected to hiring him earlier, but Steffi had insisted on keeping business and personal problems apart. Ivy, on the other hand, was acting in the exact opposite way, allowing personal grudges or erroneous motives to permeate the business. Steffi recalled her own misgivings regarding Ivy's comeback. Steffi had seen the possibility of trouble, even though Ridge might have pushed for it. This betrayal went too far. Scheming had no place at Forrester Creations, family or not. Steffi summoned Ivy for a private meeting as the altercation developed. Unspoken suspicions began to permeate the office. Ivy made an effort to defend herself by saying that Will wasn't the appropriate fit and that she only cared about Electra. Steffi, however, could not believe it. "You weren't focused on the jewelry line," she remarked coolly. "You were focused on playing games with people's lives. That's not how we operate here. You've slacked on your responsibilities and you've broken trust with your own family member. Electra is ready to take the lead on the line herself. She has the talent and the drive. We don't need distractions like this." Steffi was weighed down by the decision. It was difficult to fire a family member, particularly one with strong ties to the Forrester heritage. But Steffi had never been one to back down from difficult decisions, and business required strength. She ultimately made her decision. Ivy was fired, and her employment with the company was immediately terminated. Electra was surprised and relieved at the same time as Steffi remained steadfast. Maybe this action would start to ease some of the tensions that had previously arisen from the hiring of Dylan. The protective leader, who valued justice over favoritism, was a different side of her cousin that Electra observed. Whispers reverberated through the Forrester Creations hallways as Ivy packed her belongings and departed. Steffi had set a firm boundary. Schemers would not be allowed. However, Steffi's mind kept returning to her mother, Taylor Hayes, while she dealt with the aftermath at work. The weeks-long simmering family emergency was about to explode. Taylor had become entangled in a complicated romance with Deacon Sharp, a man whose complicated past included a marriage to the infamous Sheila Carter. Steffi had frequently cautioned her mother not to go. Sheila was hazardous because she was erratic, vindictive, and capable of taking drastic measures when she felt threatened. Sheila and the Forresters had a violent, manipulative, and nearly tragic past. That woman had caused Steffi to worry about her own life and the safety of her kids more times than she could remember. The family was shocked to learn that Taylor and Deacon had now made their relationship official by going public with their sentiments. Ridge, Steffi, and her husband Finn had hurried to the scene. Steffi had told Taylor and Deacon to avoid each other after one heated event, at least until things subsided. However, love, or whatever it was difficult to control. Deacon decided to divorce Sheila in order to seek a future with Taylor after she revealed her feelings. The fallout was enormous and happened right away. Naturally, Sheila did not take it lightly. With that usual mischievous and menacing glint in her eyes, she had spied on Taylor and Deacon. Sheila lashed out in her trademark dramatic manner as confrontations broke out. Sheila attacked the matter with her customary ferocity, causing accusations, tears, and even physical conflict. As soon as Steffi realized the danger was increasing, she set off the alarm. She gave Finn and Ridge an update and insisted that they work together to defend Taylor. Steffi cautioned, "Sheila won't just walk away." At a heated family gathering at home, Steffi became increasingly concerned as she noticed small clues that Sheila was still plotting. "She's obsessed and she's clever. We have to be vigilant." Steffi's protective instincts were triggered by strange phone calls, mysterious sightings close to Deacon's restaurant, and subtle threats. More than ever, she worried about her mother's safety. Steffi was unable to get rid of the nightmares of Sheila's past traumas, including the shootings, kidnappings, and psychological games, even though Taylor was an adult capable of making her own decisions. This was more than simply a sexual quarrel. It might turn into a potentially fatal family emergency. Because of his medical training, Finn was particularly conscious of the psychological toll that this stress was having on everyone, and he wholeheartedly backed his wife. Even Ridge, who was always the patriarch, realized the seriousness of the situation and attempted to mediate. Taylor's family came together to form a protective circle and encouraged her to reevaluate her relationship with Deacon. Deacon's daughter, Hope Logan, was caught in the middle, occasionally standing up for her father and arguing with Steffi about who was to blame. Steffi became enraged at the chaos that threatened to overwhelm them all as the conflicts at family dinners became more intense. In the midst of her personal struggles, Steffi had to deal with an additional layer of drama at work, growing tensions with Hope Logan Spencer. With their antagonism stemming from sharing children, past relationships, and conflicting goals for Forrester Creations, Hope had always been a pain in Steffi's side. The conflict over the Hope for the Future line had recently become more heated. Creative disagreements escalated into heated clashes as Steffi reminded Hope, who was more of an outsider in the workplace, of her authority. Steffi would add, "This is my family's legacy," in a calm but impatient tone during heated sessions. Hope resisted, arguing for brighter, more approachable designs that represented her own viewpoint. "We make decisions based on what builds the brand, not personal whims." Employees in the showroom exchanged awkward looks as the animosity erupted into public altercations. Steffi surmised that a portion of Hope's disobedience was caused by more general annoyances, such as the family strife involving Deacon. There was a genuine possibility that Hope would look for work elsewhere if things kept getting worse, possibly even joining Katie Logan's expanding fashion business. That prospect only strengthened Steffi's resolve to take charge. Using some of Eric Forrester's designs to launch her own collection and make a name for herself in the cutthroat industry, Katie Logan Spencer has been making waves. The Forresters had initially written it off as a small irritation, but Katie was tenacious and resourceful. Soon, she would require more teammates, and rumors circulated that a displeased Hope would be persuaded to partner up with her aunt. Logan may go from being a side project to a serious challenge to Forrester Creations' hegemony if Deke Sharp or others followed. Steffi was serious about this escalating battle in fashion. She rallied the design team, reviewed market information, and came up with counter-strategies late at night. "We can't let complacency creep in," she said to Ridge during a strategy meeting. As Steffi juggled her CEO responsibilities with the emotional burden of her mother's predicament, the strain increased. Katie's ambitious, and if Hope jumped ship, it could shift the balance. "We have to innovate faster, stay ahead, keeping the family business, keeping her loved ones from Sheila's shadow, handling office conflicts, and now anticipating a possible competitor on the horizon were all things that tugged her in different directions." Steffi came home to Finn and their kids, Hayes and Kelly, one evening following an especially demanding day. The mansion provided a momentary haven, but even there, Taylor was at the center of the discussions. Sensing the atmosphere, Kelly asked Steffi innocent questions about Grandma that made her feel uneasy, reminding her that she didn't have to handle anything by herself. Finn put his arms around her. "You're strong, Steffi, but we're in this together," he said. His solid presence served as a reminder of the stable existence they had established in spite of the frequent storms. The four tales came together in surprising ways as the days passed. Elektra was able to shine brighter and possibly boost internal morale at Forrester thanks to the choice to split up with Ivy. However, it also emphasized Steffi's firm and occasionally brutal leadership style. Discussions concerning loyalty versus merit erupted when other family members learned of the termination. Despite his modest disappointment, Ridge eventually supported his daughter's request because he understood that weak points could cause the ship to fail. When fresh indications of Sheila's continued obsession surfaced, the situation worsened. Steffi heard discussions or received anonymous tips that said Sheila was not handling the divorce with grace. Increased protection around Taylor was planned, and Finn even discussed possible dangers with coworkers. With a mixture of fear and rage, Steffi addressed her mother once more. "I can't lose you to this madness," she said in a rare moment of vulnerability. Despite Taylor's assurances, the underlying concern persisted. Conflicts with Hope at work became more often, each one eroding the precarious harmony at Forrester. Steffi pondered whether Hope's restlessness would drive her directly to Katie's camp, setting up a potential fashion confrontation between Logan and Forrester. Steffi was forced to think about partnerships or aggressive marketing strategies in order to preserve her dominance as Katie's business acquired slight traction. Steffi emerged as the key character keeping everything together. Her audacious choices at work were a reflection of her audacious nature. She wasn't scared to face incompetence or betrayal head-on. Even when it meant running afoul of her loved ones, her strong defense of Taylor demonstrated the depth of her familial attachment. Threats and rivalry just made her more focused, transforming possible crises into chances for development. Steffi thought about how far she had come during the quiet times. She had always handled drama with fortitude, from running one of the most famous fashion firms to overcoming personal heartbreaks and health problems. She would be pushed to her limits once more by these new stories, determining Ivy's fate, worrying for Taylor among Sheila's plots, fighting Hope in the boardroom, and preparing for Logan's design challenge. However, significant drama was nothing new to Steffi Forrester Finnegan. She flourished in it, coming out stronger, more resolute, and prepared to protect her family, her legacy, and her future. Twists that would put every connection to the test were in store for the next weeks. Elektra may prove her value outside of the jewelry line by stepping up in unexpected ways. Steffi must strike a balance between support and boundaries because Taylor's romance has the potential to either mend old wounds or cause new ones. Hope's decisions could cause alliances to break or lead to unanticipated partnerships. Additionally, Katie's goals have the potential to completely alter the competitive environment, challenging Steffi's long-held beliefs about industry loyalty. Steffi raised her chin and straightened her shoulders as she got ready for another workday. Major drama and family crises were commonplace in her life, but she handled them with the same fervor that had always characterized her. She would take on whatever challenges that arose, whether they were rivalries, confrontations, firings, or protections, to ensure that the audacious and lovely legacy persisted. Steffi was prepared to write the next chapters with unflinching heart and unwavering strength because the drama was only getting started. 4 compelling storylines threatened to upend Steffi Forrester's world in unexpected ways. When Steffi is forced to change her priorities due to an unexpected family emergency, what starts off as a typical day suddenly devolves into chaos. She quickly rushes to be by her loved one's side after receiving startling news over the phone. Steffi has to maintain her composure for everyone else while fear subtly seeps into her own heart. As unresolved disputes resurface, tensions inside the Forrester family also increase. Steffi is stuck in the middle, attempting to maintain harmony while defending her own interests as old scars are rekindled. When strong personalities collide and secrets start to surface, her resolve to keep the family together might come at a price. As the pressure mounts, Steffi comes to the conclusion that she can't handle everything by herself. Her partnership is up against an unforeseen challenge in the meanwhile. Steffi begins to doubt loyalty and trust after a miscommunication turns into something far more serious. She tries to talk to her spouse, but it gets more difficult to ignore the distance between them. Steffi must choose between preparing herself for heartbreak and fighting for what she is while doubts persist. As if that weren't enough, everything she's worked so hard to defend is in danger of being disrupted by an enigmatic new development. It's possible for someone from the past to re-emerge, bringing with them unresolved issues and the ability to make all the difference. Determined to find the truth before it's too late, Steffi starts to investigate when her gut tells her something isn't quite right. Steffi is stretched to her breaking point when so many obstacles come up at once. To weather the storm ahead, she must rely on her fortitude, resiliency, and intuition. Every choice she makes could have long-term effects on everyone she cares about, not just herself. One thing becomes evident as the drama progresses and the stakes rise. Viewers won't want to miss the next dramatic turn in Steffi's